Greetings aspirants, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by Civic Center IAS, where we try to discuss important and relevant articles in UPSC CSE Prelims perspective from the Hindu, Indian Express and the PIB. So, these are the list of articles we are going to discuss today. Coming to the first article, the Government of India approved the continuation of the integrated Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanskaran Abhiyan scheme during the 15th Finance Commission cycle up to 2025 to 26. So, now in this context, let's discuss about PM-AASHA scheme. The objective of the PM-AASHA scheme is to ensure remunerative prices for farmers and control price volatility of essential commodities. To achieve this, an integrated approach is adopted for effective procurement operations. Moreover, under this scheme, central nodal agencies procure notified pulses, oilseeds and copra at minimum support prices from pre-registered farmers through state-level agencies under the price support scheme. So now looking at the price support scheme and pulse procurement, the government has allowed 100% procurement of tur, urad and masoor under price support scheme, aiming to enhance domestic production and reduce import dependency. This policy is equivalent to 100% of the state's production for 2024 to 2025. Furthermore, in the budget of 2025, it was announced that 100% procurement policy will continue for 4 more years with the goal of achieving self-sufficiency in pulses. And now coming to current procurement status of 2024 to 2025, the approved states for tur procurement include Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana and Uttar Pradesh. Additionally, the total approved procurement quantity for Kharif 2024 to 2025 is 13.22 lakh metric tons under the price support scheme. Procurement has already started in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, and as of 15th February 2025, 0.15 LMT of tur has been procured, benefiting 12,006 farmers. Finally, the central nodal agencies can responsible for procurement of NAFED and NCCF. Coming to the next article, in this article, we will discuss about the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana was launched in 2016 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the objective of providing comprehensive insurance to protect farmers against crop losses due to natural calamities. This scheme is significant as it stabilizes farmers' income, reduces risk, and encourages the adoption of modern agriculture practices. Now looking at its recent developments, on February 18, 2025, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana celebrated its 9th anniversary. Additionally, in January 2025, the Union Cabinet decided to extend the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and the reconstructed and restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme till 2025 to 2026 with a budget allocation of 69,515.7 crores. Now, coming to the key features of the scheme, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana offers affordable premiums which are as follows: Kharif food and oilseed crops at 2%, Rabi food and oilseed crops at 1.5% and commercial horticulture crops at 5%. Moreover, the remainder of the premium is subsidized by the government. The scheme also provides comprehensive coverage for natural disasters such as droughts, floods, cyclones and unseasonal rains, as well as pests and disease like insects and disease outbreaks. In addition, it covers post-harvest losses which are applicable within 14 days of harvest and localized calamities such as hailstorms, landslides. Furthermore, if farmers cannot sow due to adverse weather, they can claim up to 25% of the insured sum under the prevented sowing provision. Importantly, claims are processed within 2 months of harvest, ensuring timely compensation. Now looking at the restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme, the restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme introduced alongside Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana as a weather index-based scheme. Unlike PM-FBY, the restructured weather-based crop insurance scheme uses weather parameters like rainfall, temperature and humidity instead of actual yield loss to determine the claim eligibility. Now, looking at the use of technology in Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, it utilizes various technological tools to improve its efficiency. Satellites, drones, and UAVs are employed for crop area estimation, loss assessment, and resolving yield disputes. Additionally, the CCE Agri app captures crop yield data and uploads it directly to the National Crop Insurance Portal. Furthermore, the YesTech, which is yield estimation system based on technology, was introduced in Kharif 2023, which blends technology based and manual yield estimates for better accuracy. Moreover, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana has been integrated with land records, which enhances transparency and efficiency in claims processing. Now, what are the steps that strengthen the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is now the largest crop insurance scheme globally, with the highest number of farmer applications in the world as of 2023 to 2024. Moreover, there has been increased voluntary coverage, with 55% of non-loan farmers enrolled in 2023 to 2024, indicating growing trust in the scheme. Some states have also introduced state-level interventions such as waiving of farmer premiums, further reducing the burden on farmers. Coming to the next article, Election Commissioner Ganesh Kumar has been appointed Chief Election Commissioner after a meeting of 3-member committee headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi on Monday. He will assume office on Wednesday when the Supreme Court will hear the challenge to a new law under which the selection has been made. So now in this context, let's discuss about the Chief Election Commissioner. The Chief Election Commissioner is the head of the Election Commission of India, an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for conducting free and fair elections in the country. And the Election Commission of India holds constitutional status as a permanent constitutional body, which was established on 25th January 1950. Furthermore, the establishment of the ECI is in accordance with Article 324 of the Constitution, which grants the Commission authority over the conduct of elections in India. Now, looking at the composition of the ECI, initially the Commission had only a Chief Election Commissioner. However, currently the ECI consists of the Chief Election Commissioner and 2 Election Commissioners. And now looking at the appointment of election commissioners, the appointment of election commissioners is governed by Article 324 of the Indian Constitution, which vests the power of superintendence, direction and control of elections in the ECI. Moreover, the Chief Election Commissioner and election commissioners are appointed by the President of India. So now let's know about their appointment process. The Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioners' appointment, conditions of service and term of office Act 2023 outlines the current procedure for appointments. In this process, the President appoints the Chief Election Commissioner and election commissioners based on the recommendations of a selection committee, which includes the Prime Minister, a Union Cabinet Minister, and the Leader of the Opposition or Leader of the largest opposition party in the Lok Sabha. Furthermore, a search committee headed by the Law Minister proposes a panel of names to the selection committee, ensuring a thorough and rigorous selection process. Coming to the next article, the 4-magnitude earthquake that originated in Delhi early on Monday was the strongest since a 4.6 magnitude tremor in 2007. So now in this context, let's know about the earthquake. An earthquake, in simple words, is the shaking of the earth. It is a natural event caused by release of energy which generates waves that travels in all directions. So why does the earth shake? The release of energy occurs along a fault, which is a sharp break in the crustal rocks. Rocks are along a fault tend to move in opposite directions. As the overlying rock strata press them, the friction locks them together. However, the tendency to move apart at same point of time overcomes the friction. As a result, the blocks get deformed and eventually the slide passed on one another abruptly. This causes a release of energy, and the energy wave travels in all the directions. The point where the earth is released is called the focus of an earthquake. Alternatively, it is called the hypocenter. The energy waves travels in different directions, reaches the surface. The point on the surface nearest to the focus is called the epicenter. It is the first one to experience the waves and is the point directly above the focus. So now let's know what are the seismic zones and the seismic zones in India. India is divided into 4 seismic zones: Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4 and Zone 5. Zone 5 experiences the highest seismic activity while Zone 2 has the lowest. Now coming to the next article, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan on Monday countered the DMK-led Tamil Nadu government statements that centre had been imposing language and withholding funds for the rollout of national education policy. So now in this context, let's know about the National Education Policy 2020. The National Education Policy is the India's latest education policy, replacing the 1986 National Education Policy. It aims to transform the education system to meet the demands of 21st century, focusing on access, equity, quality, affordability and accountability. Now, knowing about those features in the policy, one of the key features of the National Education Policy 2020 is the universalization of pre-primary education. This aims to provide universal access to pre-primary education and emphasizes foundational literacy and numeracy for all the students by 2025. Now, the holistic development focus of the policy is stresses on cognitive, social, and emotional skills alongside academic learning. Furthermore, it encourages the development of soft skills such as cultural awareness and empathy, perseverance and grit, teamwork and leadership, and the most important one, communication skills. So, now let's look at the new school structure. The National Education Policy introduces a new school structure which consists of the foundational stage from 3 to 8 years, which includes preschool education of the ages from 3 years to 5 years, and the preparatory stage from 8 to 11 years, which focuses on activity based learning, and middle stage with 11 to 14 years, which emphasizes the experiential learning, and the secondary stage from 14 to 18 years, which includes greater subject flexibility and a multidisciplinary approach. So, the incorporation of early childhood education with the National Education Policy, the preschool education from the age of 3 years to 5 years is now a part of formal schooling, and the midday meal program will be extended to preschool children, and the mother tongue as medium of instruction. The National Education Policy advocates that until class 5, education should be imparted in the mother tongue or regional language, promoting their better comprehension and learning. Now, how this is implemented? So, now let's look at its implementation. The National Education Policy provides a broad policy direction, but it is a non-mandatory framework, meaning it is not legally binding on states and institutions. Moreover, since education is a concurrent list subject, in both center and states can legislate on it, the implementation requires a cooperation between the central and the state governments. Coming to the next article, a study foreign institutional investment outflows from India's equity markets shows investors are booking profits, indicating investments in India are yielding good returns. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said at a post-budget media briefing here on Monday. So, now in this context, let's know about the foreign institutional investors. A foreign institutional investor is an investor or investment fund that invests in a country other than where it is registered or headquartered. The foreign institutional investor include pension funds, investment banks, hedge funds, and mutual funds. So, now look at its key features. One of the key features of FII is short-term capital inflows. Unlike foreign direct investment, the FII is highly liquid and speculative in nature, meaning investments or investors can enter and exit markets quickly. Furthermore, FIIs participate in both equity and debt markets, mainly investing in stocks, government bonds, corporate bonds, and derivatives. Additionally, FIIs are regulated by SEBI in India, with the Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) governing FII participation to prevent market volatility and financial instability. FIIs also have a high impact on the stock market, as large inflows or outflows can cause price fluctuations. Moreover, the FIIs can influence exchange rates. When they enter a market, demand for the local currency rises, leading to appreciation, while large FIIs exit can depreciate the currency. Lastly, all foreign institutional investors are a subset of foreign portfolio investors, but not all FPIs or FIIs. That is, not all foreign portfolio investors are not foreign institutional investors. Now, coming to the next article, during his February 12th phone call with Russia's President Vladimir Putin, US President Donald Trump rejected as impractical the possibility of Ukraine joining the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the 32-member transatlantic military alliance in which an attack on any member is considered an attack on all. So now in this context, let's discuss about the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is in short NATO. NATO is a military alliance formed on April 4th of 1949 with the primary goal of ensuring the collective defense of its member states. It operates under the principle of collective security, where an attack on one member is considered an attack on all. So now let's know about the key features of NATO. NATO was founded under the North Atlantic Treaty in 1949. Its headquarters are located in Brussels, Belgium. As of 2024, NATO has 31 member countries. A key principle of NATO is Article 5, which establishes a collective defense. An attack on one is an attack on all. The leader of NATO is the Secretary General, who as of 2024 is Jens Stoltenberg. Now, looking at NATO membership expansion, NATO initially has 12 members in 1949, including the US, UK, Canada, France, Belgium, Denmark, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, and Portugal. Over time, there were later additions such as Greece and Turkey in 1952, Germany in 1955, Spain in 1982, and former Eastern Bloc countries after the Cold War. Recent additions include Finland in 2023 and Sweden in 2024. And the purpose and functions of NATO are to strengthen the transatlantic link, enhancing defense ties between Europe and North America. Additionally, it enables defense and security cooperation, allowing member states to coordinate on crisis management and security operations. NATO also conducts multinational crisis response, engaging in peacekeeping, counter-terrorism, and maritime security missions. Now coming to the next article, the Haryana government's ambitious 3,858 hectare Aravali Safari Park project spread across Gurgaon and Nuh, which was one of the poll promises of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party last year, is envisaged to be the world's largest safari park. However, the project has faced stiff opposition ever since it was first mooted. So now in this context, let's know about the Aravali Safari Park project. The Aravali Safari Park project was proposed by the Haryana Tourism Department, and it is located in the Aravali Hills, spanning parts of Gurugram and Nuh districts in Haryana. Now, the key features of the project include animal enclosures, guest houses, hotels, restaurants, and auditoriums. Additionally, there will be an animal hospital, children's parks, botanical gardens, aquariums, cable cars, and a tunnel walk with exhibits. The project will also have an open-air theatres and eateries. The total area of a project covers 3,858 hectares with 2,574 hectares across 11 villages in Gurugram and 1,284 hectares across 7 villages in Nuh. Currently, the project is under the jurisdiction of the Forest Department with an expert committee overseeing its execution. So, now let's look at the ecological significance of the Aravali range. The Aravali range is one of the oldest fold mountain ranges in the world, stretching about 690 kilometers long across Rajasthan to Delhi. It plays a crucial ecological role by combating desertification and protecting against the spread of the Thar Desert. Furthermore, the range serves as an aquifer, allowing water to percolate and recharge groundwater reserves. The Aravalis also support a rich ecosystem of both wildlife and plant species. So now let's look at the opposition to the project. The primary concern raised by the critics is the project's focus on increasing tourist footfall rather than on ecological conservation. Now, the key arguments against the project include the potential threat to water resources as increased construction, vehicular traffic, and footfall could disrupt the aquifers crucial for water supply in Gurugram and Nuh, both of which are facing groundwater depletion. Additionally, there is a concern about the destruction of protected forest areas as the land is a part of the Aravalis, which are safeguarded by several environmental laws. A group of 37 retired Indian Forest Service officers has petitioned the Prime Minister to scrap the project, urging that any intervention should focus on conservation and restoration, but not destruction. The critics urge the project will harm the region's ecological balance, particularly its fragile groundwater and biodiversity systems, presenting a conflict between ecological and economic interests. Coming to the next article, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, in short SEBI, has mandated that all amendments to rules under its purview should undergo a process of public consultation. So now in this context, let's know about the Securities and Exchange Board of India, in short the SEBI. SEBI is a statutory body and regulator of the securities market in India. Its main role is to protect the investor interests, promote and regulate the securities in the market, and SEBI was initially established in 1988 as a non-statutory body but gained statutory status through the SEBI Act 1992. So now let's know about the key functions. One of the SEBI's key functions is the regulation of stock exchanges, as it controls the activities of stock exchanges in India. Additionally, SEBI focuses on investor protection by safeguarding the rights of investors and ensuring their investments are protected. It also plays a role in prevention of fraud by regulating stock market activities to ensure their fair market practices. Furthermore, SEBI promotes the market education by providing educational resources to investors, which enhances their knowledge of market operations. Now, what are the powers of SEBI? SEBI enforces rules and regulations to harmonize statutory regulations and ensure the professional functioning of the intermediaries. Moreover, SEBI has the authority to investigate market malpractices and take action against offenders. So now let's look at the composition of SEBI. The SEBI board consists of a chairman who is nominated by the union government along with other members, including representatives from the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank of India. Its headquarters are in Mumbai with regional offices in Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Chennai and Delhi. So today we have discussed 9 articles in total and we will be back with another video tomorrow. Thank you.